What is going on, everybody? It is Dylan with DFS, bringing you a brand new video. Today's video, I'm going over the Monday Night Showdown between the New York Giants at the Kansas City Chiefs. So, if you ended up watching my video, not for this weekend, but last weekend, I said Patrick Mahomes was the safest play, and he had the worst game of his NFL career. Even worse than the Super Bowl last year. So, this is going to be fun. In all honesty, I look at this game between the Giants and the Chiefs. 52-point game total. Chiefs favorited by 10 points. There is not a lot of stuff that I don't like in this game. I mean, everything looks good. Everything on both sides of the ball. Like, defenses are terrible in this matchup, to be honest. The only thing that you have to do, in my opinion, on this is just find who's going to score the most points, which is a thing you do every game. I get that. But there's so much potential here for every player, every main key player. So your Patrick Mahomes, Daniel Jones, Tyree Kill, Travis Kelce, Devontae Booker, Darrell Williams. Like, they're the most expensive guys for a reason, but their ceiling is ridiculous. Like, both teams have a very favorable matchup rushing the ball and passing the ball. Both of them do. It's crazy. So on paper, this looks like this game should hit the over of 100. But we haven't seen the Giants play great offense. If you look at Daniel Jones' numbers, they're not crazy. So his passing prop is, I believe the last time I checked, was 242 yards. If you see it, he's pretty much hit it almost every game except for two. And his rushing prop is 21. That's one thing I like today. Daniel Jones' rushing prop was at 21 yards when I got it, or 22. It was 21 before I took it. And he's rushed for almost that every game, 5 out of 7 games. And Kansas City's allowed the 4th most rushing yards to quarterbacks, so that's a very promising thing. But Mahomes, Tyreek both look healthy on the report. Nothing there. The Giants is just figuring out who is going to be healthy. So Kadarius Toney and Sterling Shepard are both questionable, both expected to play. Darius Slayton is the only one that really didn't come up with a injury report. Evan Ingram too. Both of them look healthy. So there's a lot of plays. Like, it is ridiculous to just try to decide who you want to play. There's so many options on both sides. Like, this is one of the best showdown slates I think I've seen, to where you're going to have a lot of different lineups. I can't really see too many lineups being the winner tonight on either side. So let's just try to get into this game. So there's a huge difference between DraftKings and Fanduel tonight. So DraftKings, a little smarter, and went with Mahomes. Obviously, both sides. Mahomes is the most expensive player. But they go Tyree Kill and Travis Kelce before Daniel Jones. FanDuel, Daniel Jones is number 2 and has Tyreek and Travis Kelce below him. These 3 guys are, to me, they're pretty close in value tonight. Tyree Kill is one of those guys that can get you 30-plus fantasy points in a game, and he's actually done it twice this year. And he looks like he's healthy. The targets, 9 targets is the minimum he's gotten in the last 4 games. The yardage hasn't been there. The normal yardage hasn't been there. But they're playing a defense where their number 1 corner going into the season looked really good. Does not look good anymore. Against the tight ends, they're pretty average, but someone like Travis Kelce in this game, you're going to expect to get 6 or more targets, probably get over 100 yards tonight, and multiple touchdowns at that. Like I said, so you get the discount of Daniel Jones on DraftKings, but on FanDuel you get the discount of Tyree Kill and Travis Kelce. So it's interesting plays there. We go down to the running backs, Devontae Booker, Darrell Williams, and guess what? Williams, Booker. So different price difference on the running backs on both sides. Both of them look good. If you're going to take a running back, the only reason that I go Devontae Booker is you go Darrell Williams, and he gets 2 rushing touchdowns for 12 points, but he only got 62 yards and 21 carries. His yards per carries really aren't phenomenal, but he does get targets and receptions. And you look at his receiving yards, he's gotten 10 or more in pretty much every game he's started, which is against Philly, I believe, is the Chargers is when Edwards-Helaire went down, if I'm not mistaken. But you look, and he's had 2 games where he gets 6 points. Kansas City, I think, is going to need to, not need, but it's essential to get that passing game back, to get that chemistry back on a Monday night. So you're going to have a shorter week going into next week. So if you're playing a running back tonight, even on both sides, Devontae Booker is probably the running back that I like. Now let's get to the excitement and the fun part of tonight. So obviously you have Mahomes, Daniel Jones, Tyree Kill, Travis Kelce. Great plays tonight. Those are your 4 guys. You want to get at least 2 of them. At least 2. There's probably a way on DraftKings that you can get all 4 and have a funky lineup, but on Fanduel it's probably a little rougher. I don't know if you can. Probably not. But let's get into the fun part. So that is the New York Giants receivers. So you have Sterling Shepard. So assuming this is Sterling Shepard, Kadarius Toney, both being active tonight. So you get Sterling Shepard, Darius Slayton, Kadarius Toney. Now we can look at all their numbers, and it's ridiculous the ceiling for Giants receivers. So Kadarius Toney, 2 games where he gets 9 targets, 13 targets, 6 receptions, 10, 189 yards, 78 yards. Doesn't get those touchdowns, but he gets you fantasy points. Now we go look at, here's the interesting part to me. This is where I find like tonight is going to be different and it's going to be fun. So Atlanta, I believe, is where Darius Slayton did get hurt. But you look at his other 3 games where he is playing in healthy. He gets you at least 8 fantasy points or FanDuel points on here. Gets you the 3, 3, 5. Targeted at least 6 times and yardage above 50 yards. One of the games he gets a touchdown, add extra points. And then we get to Sterling Shepard. Also, so look at all 4 games that he plays. Yet again, I believe against Atlanta is when he got banged up. I could be wrong as well. But the 3 games where he was fully active and played, 14 targets, 10 targets, 9 targets, and gets the receptions and even gets more yards. So it's going to be interesting. If I had to personally rank the receivers tonight, it's Sterling Shepard 1, Darius Slayton 2, Kadarius Toney 3. Now, I believe Darius Slayton and Kadarius Toney are side by side for me, honestly. Like, if you need the $500, you can play Toney, and I wouldn't be mad at all. If you have the extra $500, you can play Darius Slayton. The only reason I like Slayton is because he's off the injury report. And we've seen what Daniel Jones has done with Darius Slayton. Darius Slayton is that one guy that'll get you a 30-yard reception, get open downfield. So let's say hypothetically that both Sterling Shepard and Kadarius Toney are inactive. Then you get Dante Pettis, has stepped up for the Giants, honestly. If you look at his 5 receptions in both games, gets you the yardage, and he adds that extra 5-6 points. So the numbers are pretty consistent there. And then you have Evan Ingram. So let's go to DraftKings and see the differential in pricing. So on DraftKings, Slayton actually is cheaper than Toney, and Shepard's only a little more expensive than Toney. So you look at the prices, and they're right there, all 3. $600 is the price difference between those receivers. Like I said, the ceiling is ridiculous for them. What they can do tonight, all 3 of them, ridiculous. So there's the price difference. And then obviously on both sites you get a pay down in Evan Ingram. On DraftKings, Evan Ingram 5.4. On FanDuel, only $7,000, so you get a big discount on Evan Ingram. Evan Ingram is only in play just because throughout him and Daniel Jones, he gets targeted a decent amount for a tight end and gets you fantasy points. Now, if the yardage gets there, if the red zone looks get there, that's a different story. But he does get targeted, and targets are key. So that is my opinion on the Giants side of the football. Graham Gano you could put in there for how inefficient the Giants are in the red zone, even though Kansas City's team in general is just bad defensively. We can see them play good. They blitz a lot, to be honest, but they have the lowest amount of sacks in the league, I believe it is, or sack rate. So that's interesting, and that's why I like Daniel Jones' rushing prop. Now let's go to the Kansas City side of the ball. So we got past your key guys, Mahomes, Tyree Kill, Travis Kelce, Darrell Williams. Harris Bucker is there. Harris Bucker, as you can see, is 9.5 on Fanduel, and you go on DraftKings, and DraftKings always does it. The kickers are right next to each other, and their price is right where you want it to be. So I find that was a little off. But let's talk about Kansas City secondary people. So the most expensive on Fanduel is Mecole Hardman at 7.5. If you go on DraftKings, guess what? Mecole Hardman, 4.8. So he's kind of there at that mid-tier price on DraftKings. On FanDuel, it's a pay down, which is nice because that's what you need with the expensive people. You get Byron Pringle there at 7 on FanDuel. You go on DraftKings, 2.2. So a value play on DraftKings. And then you look, Demarcus Robinson at 800 on DraftKings. We go to FanDuel, 6,000. So very close to the minimum. So what does that mean? So let's just say we go and we pick our players. So we want Mahomes there. Let's just go all in. Let's see what we can do. Let's get these three. We get the three most expensive. And then we'll throw in someone cheap like Evan Ingram, and we get 8,500. We could play someone like Kadarius Toney. So this to me is what I mean by you can get those guys. Now, granted, we have Daniel Jones out of the Giants. We have Devontae Booker out for the Giants. But hypothetically, if you're valuing Tyree Kill, Travis Kelce more than those two, that's where you go at. And on DraftKings, let's do the same thing. Let's have some fun with it. Let's put something in. So I like Travis Kelce a lot tonight, so let's put him in the captain. I like Mahomes. I like Tyree Kill. So we're left at 3,700. Yet again, let's try to find value for the Giants. It's not as easy as it is on FanDuel. So we only have 3,700 remaining. We have $11,000 to pick that, and we're not going to get any of that. So that's the difference on both sides. So FanDuel, we were able to get Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, and Travis Kelce, and to get two key factors of the Giants. We get their tight end one, and we get one of their wide receivers. Like I said, that $500 came into a factor here. On DraftKings, you do it the other way, and the reason you get a big price difference is that captain spot. So let's put somebody else there. Let's say I like Devontae Booker, and I still want Travis Kelce. We're left with 4,100 for two players, and all we have is Devontae Booker. So let's try to get a Giants player. We can't. That's the difference. So DraftKings, you can't get Mahomes, Hill, and Kelce. It's not possible unless you try to captain someone very cheap. That's not possible tonight on DraftKings. So DraftKings is, like I said, it's going to be fun. It's going to be interesting to see of what you can and cannot do. FanDuel, you can almost do pretty much anything. So like I said, we fade the running backs. We get the more, in my opinion, higher ceiling guys. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope it helped in any way. Like I said, I'm just excited. This looks like a really, really, really good game for Monday Night Football and to end the week. Yesterday was very rough for me. The spreads were crazy for football. No matter what side you bet, if your bets hit, you were panicking the entire time. And if your bets didn't hit, there's a good chance you thought you were winning at one time. So it was definitely fun, and we got a good Sunday Night Football game, in my opinion. So hoping tonight's game is just as good. So if you guys are interested in joining our Discord while we do NBA and NFL plays, link for that will be in the description as well. And we also give out bets for each slate. So hope you guys did enjoy. We'll see you in the next one.